Why am I always left super confused by Marlo?
Marlo is
I
a
never know
mess.
what's wrong with her.
God, who knows? I love that on Watch What Happens Live. That was the first question he asked. He was like, "Marlo, I honestly don't know what you were upset about at the end of the episode. Like, no one did. No one
And she's
did."
like, "Oh, you didn't? No, we don't know what's the matter ever." And then you
Ever.
have this huge reaction, and we're like, I don't know, Marlo. I don't know why you're mad.
It's so weird.
And
So
so
weird.
I hate saying this, but she's really just kind of not delivered like we wanted her to as a housewife.
It's weird. It's sometimes it's really her confessionals actually crack me up, but her as a housewife sometimes is a little forced.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that because I do think she can deliver, but she's got to get out of her own way.
Yep.
Like she's really got to step aside. Your hair looks great.
Oh, thanks. Thank
Love
you.
it.
This is
Love
I
it.
can't. This is my natural. This is how it dries.
Oh.
So I'm actually. I'm having a hard time. I have a hard time embracing my curly hair.
You should embrace it.
I
It's
feel
everything.
very. It makes me feel like kind of like fat. It makes me feel like dumpy and not cute. But I'm trying to embrace it because I have to wash my hair every day for the next few weeks. And for ladies with long hair, they know it's not fun. Taking a shower is one thing. Washing your hair is another. Okay.
So when y'all tell guys I gotta stay in and wash my hair, you're serious about that. Like, no, I can't go out with you now. I've got to stay in and wash my hair. I believe it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Okay, it's fucking real.
There you go.
All right, guys, we are going to be covering Martha's Vineyard and Atlanta today, per usual, but check the timestamps in the description so you can skip ahead. We're going to start with Martha's Vineyard because I'm trying to force it down your throats. Because if you're not watching it, it's you got to watch it. It's totally worth it. It's
So
what
good.
It's what the regular Summer House or original Summer House wishes it was.
Exactly.
And in case you missed that, I'm not covering the OG Summer House or Jersey this week. I'm done hate recapping. I can't do it anymore.
know.
Like that finale of Jersey was such garbage. I was
It was
like,
a mess.
it was a mess. It was a literal mess. It was
Yeah.
like this is what you would look at and say is a mess. So
Yeah.
goodbye. If whatever, fuck you guys. Okay. But if you guys are new here, make sure you are subscribed, hit the bell so you never miss an episode. And then, of course, Kendrick, my love, my partner in crime, Kendrick. Yes, you have to make sure you're following Kendrick's podcast, Reality and Comics 2. And it's available everywhere you get my podcast. He does not, a bunch of people asking if you have a YouTube channel. I said, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do not, but I have a podcast.
He does have a podcast, yes.
Emily comes over there all the time. So
yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Come on over.
So yes, guys, let's get into this right now. Here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. I mean, look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I'm a complete mess.
What is this, honey?
I love that.
I'm Emily. Every week, I recap the latest episodes of your favorite Bravo shows, from Housewives to Vanderpump Rules.
We need to get more cosmopolitan. Hop-teeny!
So if you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Okay, so I'm going to talk some shade about Jordan.
Okay.
On Watch What Happens Live.
Okay.
I've been very honest.
I think I know what you're gonna say, so I'm anxious to hear. Yes.
Oh, I don't know if okay. I've been very honest about my crush on Jordan. Like she's so beautiful that I'm like kind of blinded to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was very underwhelmed by her look.
For the Watch What Happens Live.
For Watch What Happens Live. You know,
Yes,
Watch What
yes.
Happens Live. She like the pink look that she has in her confessional on Martha's Vineyard. I'm like, now see, color maybe. Like come with some color. Like do your hair. But instead she went for this like sleek look, I guess. And like it just wasn't popping. So there's that. fine, do you. But she was so boring.
I knew you were going to say it because
oh my God.
I was very whelmed. I was just whelmed. There was nothing special about it. And you know what? As annoying as Marlo is sometimes, she knows how to do an appearance.
Exactly.
Because Marlo literally kept that episode afloat. Because Jordan, I hate, when you do the live interviews after Bravo, an episode, you have to either bring the shade, you have to either bring the funny, or you've got to bring the tea. One of the three. It's got to be one of those. Jordan was way too just matter of fact on the episode.
That was literally, she answered everything so matter of fact. Andy was so over it. He was like, okay, thank you for nothing. Every question.
You can always tell. And it's just oh, girl, you've got to you're a newbie on a show that could be around for years on Bravo. You've got to help sell it. You've got to do your part. That's
exactly it.
You've got to do your part.
She did not help sell that at all.
No.
And nothing. She did nothing. Everything was so matter of fact and boring and simple. It's well, now no one's excited.
Right. I feel like Jasmine would have been great.
Jasmine would have nailed it. And I get why they went for Jordan. Listen, I get it. Okay. Pretty works. And I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. However,
yes,
that's what they got out of her.
That's what
and
they got.
I was oh God, it was like watching paint dry.
It was exactly like what it just. There's nothing fun about this. Sounds so stupid to say during an interview, but there's nothing fun about someone that answers the question
just how it's presented.
Exactly. It's what did you think of her dress? She's like, it was okay.
It was a green dress.
Right. It was a very green dress. Her color's orange, but it was green. It was nice. It's girl, okay.
Andy was so over her. He's like, great. So glad you're here.
Right.
God. And he really has a hard time with Marlo, too. So he's like, this isn't my favorite episode of Watch What Happens Live.
You could tell by the way he introduced the episode. I was like, okay, should I watch this? What is happening?
He's
no idea.
I guess watch it. I don't know.
Right. I don't care. Whatever.
I don't know. You guys can skip it, actually. It's
he
fine.
just had that super highly rated episode with Ariana. So he's like, I can have a few clunkers after this. It's okay.
And I think he even said, we're taking 2 weeks off after this. As he was saying goodbye. He's like, we're the next 2 weeks off. That's why I don't care.
I'm out.
Bye. Later.
Yes. I'm out of here.
Okay, so now that we've thrown all of that shade, let's get into the episode.
She should have been throwing, but okay.
Which, she should have been doing that. We did. That's how you do it. Okay, Lord.
She had
Almighty.
Marlo. That would have been the perfect shade partner.
Yes,
she was throwing them up, and you would not catch them.
Marlo was trying so hard. She was like, "Girl, I'm trying to help you here, but you're not picking it up." Okay, you're not getting it
at all.
But cutie little Amir's ready to fight the guy, and they're breaking him up. But because his trigger is bullying, and I love him saying he's like, but now that I can kick someone's ass, I will step in.
I did it. I'm not gonna lie. It was hilarious, seeing him say that, but actively looking up at the guy.
The guy's a full person taller than him.
Yes. And you can tell at that point, Phil was actually trying to show the first self-control for the first time since he's been there. Cause he wanted to crack a short joke or something. He was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it right now. He's like, I'm not gonna do it. No.
I think Phil was actually kind of curious. Okay, I would like to see you attempt that.
Yes, what you got?
You've got a lot of confidence here, buddy. Let's see what happens. Let's go with it.
I love it.
Yeah, but Preston and Alex are done. I don't blame them. They're I was so relieved we weren't about to have a whole maybe Phil should stay. I'm like, oh, thank God, get him out of there. I can't. Yeah. I don't even want to see him ever again. Please. So but then Jordan goes to talk to Phil, and something's wrong with him. Something's seriously wrong with him because he's just not. He's like, I shit in his toilet because it was my toilet. And then he gets off track because he says they should be mad at Bria, which we're like, yeah, yeah, you should have been mad at Bria, so why'd you shit in his toilet?
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes, and Milo. And he thinks he's so funny. He's so funny talking about Milo. And then he starts pulling out $100 to watch, to have her run around and chase Milo. And it's
like,
just
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
So weird. The one person that's on your side right now, or even like trying to like throw you a bone,
Yeah.
and you're throwing $100 at her. Like, come on, man.
To
Get
say
it
I'm going to
together.
watch you chase a dog. Disgusting. Yeah. but then I can't remember. Someone comes down and he's like, I haven't been rude to you, Jordan. I called you cute. And and even she's like, oh my God, wow, he called me cute. Oh my God, like that's the best thing anyone's ever said to me. Like, shut up.
Phil is such that guy. He's that guy. He's like, you know what? He's a guy that tells you like, you're pretty for, and then like gives you a descriptor, and it's like, okay, dude, like get out of here.
And
that's
then
not
you're
a compliment.
supposed to be grateful for it.
Right. It's like, oh, thank you so much. You're like,
Supposed to say,
no.
thank you for that. Oh, you're right. Thank you so much. Thank
Right.
you. Okay, so I got a chemical peel again, and there's this part. I love to peel skin, and so I keep having to stop myself because I can feel it. Okay, so if you see me starting to touch my face, be like, stop it.
I need to. You know what? I'm feeling like y'all are throwing me signs because this is now literally the third. Like,
really?
I'm recording this, but like I've listened to 2 other podcasts today where one of them was Ebony K. You know, I love Ebony K. Williams' podcast, Holding Court. She talked about on there how she had just done like she got a chemical peel from somewhere. She told it for a reason because she got some story done. And someone else said it too. I'm like, man, I need to get a chemical peel or something. Like, you know, I'm all about the skincare. So like,
because you got glowing skin.
Thank you. It looks rough. Okay, everybody, this camera makes it look a little rough right now. It used to like give me like a natural filter. I don't know what's going on right now, but the skin is okay. Okay.
No, I
had
the first chemical peel because you have to do at least 2 rounds. The first one wasn't as miraculous as I wanted. The second one, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. This is why rich people look like perfect all the time. They just keep taking off layers and layers of skin. They just look like baby skin all the time.
That's what I need. Damn it, I'm scheduling one.
Yep.
Okay. Random question. I know we're getting aside, but does healthcare cover it? Like, Can I get? Oh, damn it. Okay.
There's absolutely no medical reason to get it done.
I know. I was about to say. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, what can I say to get this covered by Cigna?
If you figure out a way, though, actually, don't tell anyone. Keep it a secret. Don't tell.
Okay.
You can just tell me, but don't. We won't talk about it here on the pod. It'll be our secret because then people will be on to it, and it'll. Insurance fraud is our little secret.
You're right.
No one has to know.
Gotcha. Wink, wink.
Okay, so Jasmine comes in and she's like, because they're gonna do a house meeting. She's like, okay, ladies, and
I
then
love
Phil,
a house meeting.
I do too. I'm like, we're already getting a house meeting. Yes, give it to me. And Phil's like, and gentlemen, and Jordan's like, are you though? Are you? You get the title of a motherfucker sitting on a couch. And then Phil's like, are you mad because I shit in his toilet? I'll shit in yours too.
Goodness.
Which is very not cool. But then Jordan does this. She goes, do it. And then does this really big wind up. Bitch. Like she goes like I thought it was a joke kind of because it was just like so big and like right. And then she's like, I will watch you. You think I'm scared? But then wait, dude, the security they have is the biggest man I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. He is what do they call it? They call it some kind of force. Like he is a dominating presence like in the room. It's like, goodness.
Is he over 7 feet? Because
He's gotta be.
Swear to God, Phil is already super tall.
Right.
And I feel like they must have had a height requirement. Like think of all the different people who I was gonna say auditioned, but who like submitted to be the security. They're like, no, we need a really big person. Like we have big people.
We got people on Bravo that like after, I feel like after Teresa pushed Andy at that one reunion, they're like, okay, we got to take this kind of seriously
Jersey
now.
has security. Jersey has security. That's it cracks me up that Jersey definitely has security. Like at the fucking finale, you see security. Like, are we getting in? Are we getting in?
Yes.
But the house meeting. Okay, so Phil's in the kitchen, and Shanice is, of course, not saying a word, but I'm like, bitch, this is your friend.
Right.
Okay? You should be mortified.
Second instance of her being a terrible friend in 2 episodes.
I'm like, I would be, if that was my friend that I invited, he'd already be out.
Right.
He would literally, like, he would already have been gone. Like, I would have been like, producers, how do I get my friend out? Because I don't know who this is, and he's out. Like, goodbye. Nobody
needs to like have a house meeting for me to tell my friend that they have like the worst behavior we've ever seen on TV. Like, get out of here.
Exactly.
No one.
No one. I don't need you. Done. Deal. Goodbye. You're gonna make me look bad. See you later. Don't treat people like this.
Right.
But okay, Mariah doesn't know all of this stuff that's happened. So not a great look for Mariah, because she comes into the kitchen and she's all cool with Phil. And it's like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't great.
Mariah's in her own world right now.
She's mad at the rest of the house because of the moon mask thing. And so
I was about to say she's on the moon. So
yeah, Phil is the only one that didn't assault her moon mask feeling. So she's like, Phil gets me. I'm like, Phil would have been an asshole about your moon mask, just so we're clear.
Right.
Can you imagine, Phil?
This would be like if everybody was mad at Marlo, but like, of course, Sonya comes down the stairs. She's like, "Oh my God, hey, Marlo, bestie, what's up?"
That's exactly that.
Yes,
and we're like, no,
right? We're like, we're trying to root for you. God damn it, you're a fucking American Olympian. Get over here. Get on the right side.
Get over here.
What are you doing?
Get over here. Get over here and sit down. Get over here. Sit down right now. I swear to God.
Damn it.
Yeah, but then Bria gets nominated to tell. Bria was dead asleep though, so fine. She's dead asleep, so she's like, I actually don't know what's been happening. She's like, still. But then Bria pulls this move.
Pissed me off so bad, honestly.
This was too much.
Way too much.
Because it's so different. And I was really confused. How maybe there was a lot more to the conversation that they edited out. I'm going to go with that.
Right.
Because it feels like Jasmine put up more of a fight, maybe. And Bria was like, I don't feel comfortable, because she's the one who's been, she's such a brat. She's woken up from her sleep. Now she has to kick her friend out. And she didn't see what he did that was so bad. Even though she's being told.
Right.
The whole house hates him. She's like, well, if he has to go and I have to tell my friend, then I don't like what Mariah did. I feel uncomfortable. If Mariah was willing to sit with you and talk to you, it'd be different, right? And I agree, Mariah and her should have a conversation. Mariah was, definitely ignoring the fact that she did that. Fine. But to then go through with it, we even said you said, I hope she's not kicked off after this. You said it.
I hate that I thought it too. I willed this into existence, and I hate it. Oh,
it really, really, really blows,
man.
It really sucks. It's not my favorite.
Gosh,
but sure. And Silas really co-signs it.
Silas hate that too.
Yeah, it's kind of maybe it's not like a military thing.
Yeah,
like the rules.
I feel like him and Jasmine, like Jasmine didn't want to like agree with it, but I feel like they're like overcompensating to be like the fair host. Like they're really trying to be like, okay, well, we did say this, so house rules would dictate that this person to and all like that. So I feel like they're trying their hardest to be like really fair, and no one can call them hypocritical.
Yep.
But I feel like this is one where you could have pushed back a little bit.
Agreed.
You like somebody, but I feel like, first of all, I feel like Amir's ass should have said something in this moment, knowing what he reveals later on in the episode. I'm
right?
Okay. Like, that would have been, the good thing. But I also feel like, I hate that Jordan kept saying, like, I love me some Mariah. I'd love to run like that, but Bria's right and all that. I'm like, no, she's not. Like, everyone stop it. Bria is not right about this.
Bria's acting way, way, way too much about it. However, I will say now, knowing that Amir was the one who put it in there, she's like, this is coming out of nowhere. Like, she's like, where is this coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, oh, going back to it, she really does feel like you're coming at me with something that didn't even happen.
Right. I kind of love the fact that he did it too, honestly. Because when they showed the clip of him like being like, and then just like chooses not to say anything.
I thought he was just trying to ask them, guys, what you fighting about?
Right.
Nope, he was trying to be like, excuse me, I did that.
He saw it go left super fast. He was like, nope, staying out of that. All right, Shanice, you ready to go?
God. Silas goes, Bria has said Mariah assaulted her. I'm like, yo, we're using words. Okay, I'm not going to downplay it, though. I want to be fair. Mariah way overreacted, got in her face, and she did push the clothes on her, and there was a physicality to it. Mm-hmm. She is not apologetic. She feels completely justified for what she did. Fine. I don't want to take that away at all. But Bria is just such a little brat.
Right.
That it's hard. It's like, oh, you little... Ugh.
It drives me crazy whenever somebody tries to be the victim and the villain at the same time. Because I feel like in that moment, Bria was like ready to go to war. And so it was a whole thing when neither one of them would calm down, had to agree to disagree, get out of the house. Mariah stayed, like all this kind of stuff. But then later on, like she's in the club, hand on head, she's the victim. And oh my God, I can't believe y'all allowed Mariah to get an Uber and come to this club and come in here and party and, be of own free will and all of this. It's like, girl, calm the fuck down. Like, it's not that deep. You got into an argument that didn't even lead to tussling or anything. It led to her putting your doggy toys in your chest. Like, I get it, but like, be fucking for real right now.
Yeah.
BFFR.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But Bria then has the most straightforward conversation with Phil. She's like, you got to go. Yep. And then he gets all crazy. He's like, you were the one who didn't put the note on the bed and whatever. And it says rude shit to her. But then the producers and security get his ass out. And as he gets in the car, he goes, what would Obama have done?
Oh, God. We've gone to slavery, to Obama. We've gotten the full gambit of conversation with him in these episodes.
He would go to slavery and Obama.
Right.
He would go to those places.
Polar opposites. It's like, okay, it's time to go, Phil. Sorry.
Bye-bye.
Let's go.
Bye-bye.
God.
But then Jasmine has to talk to Mariah. I mean, Mariah does deny. Mariah's like, I didn't touch her. I don't know. I'm like, okay, Mariah, you're not helping yourself here. But this, I felt bad for Jasmine. I did because I know it wasn't easy for her, and I know that Mariah will not be forgiving her anytime soon.
Right.
I'm sure they're fine now, though.
I hope so.
In real time.
Right. I hope so.
But then Shanice, after bringing Crazy Pants and inviting Phil, that guy, she goes and gets in the shower and she hears someone knock. She goes, who is it? And he's like, it's Amir. And she goes, come in. He's like, yeah, I'm good. So then she comes out knowing he's right there with her boobs out. And the thing is, she's doing it so on purpose. She's like, sorry about my boobies. Sorry about my boobs. They're just boobs. They're just boobs. And he's like, okay, I get it. And it's uncomfortable. But then Amir looks at the camera in the corner and he's like, did you get that? And the camera nods.
I literally, okay, I know that there's a whole behind the wall situation on here. But I always think sometimes that those are just there. I feel like the real action is with the guys follow them around with the cameras.
Yes.
But the fact that someone is actively right there watching too and did that, I was like, I had their reaction.
It made me
oh my God. Right.
I was like, oh, is someone always watching this?
Right. It's it makes me think if the other episode of Silas and Jasmine had peeked out and said, are you watching us? That camera would have went up and down with all of that.
That is such a bizarre realization.
I know. I literally had the exact same reaction as him. I was like, oh.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Thank God Amir's like, yeah, if I'm liking Jordan, I'm not going to be messing around with her friend. And Shanice is like, whatever. Another thing Jordan was really boring about. Because Andy was like, how'd you feel about Shanice, trying to get with Amir? And she's like, well, Shanice is my friend. I love Shanice. And I felt nothing. I'm like, oh,
God.
cool. I'm happy he's got you on here asking you all the questions about the show that we're watching.
Right.
God.
You could have at least, like, even if you love Shanice, you could have just said even something like, well, thank God she's got perky something like at least like funny or like off the cuff. Like, give us something.
It's that pretty girl privilege.
Mm-hmm.
That pretty girl. All the guys are fawning over her. This is her whole life.
Yep.
So she's never had to be interesting.
Exactly. People like me have to work double time, Jordan, okay?
Did you watch 30 Rock? I can't remember if I've asked you this before.
Yes. I watched I didn't watch it like when it was aired. I watched like the reruns and stuff. So yeah, I know the peoples. Yeah.
When John Hamm's character, the hot guy that Liz Lemon dates, she's like, you've been living in a pretty guy bubble. So she like shows him what life is like without his beautiful face. Yeah. And he hates it.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, that's what normal people go through.
Terrible.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. And I've been eyeing this company for a while because they're all about not just reducing the visible signs of aging, but the root causes of aging. They were founded by a team of 4 female PhD-level longevity scientists with over 15 years of experience. They got an essential face moisturizer, eye topical supplement to firm, and a topical body supplement to keep your body moisturized so skin doesn't just look younger and healthier, but it functions like younger and healthier skin. But how, you may ask? I'm about to sound real smart. OneSkin's products are formulated with their OS01 peptide as the primary active ingredient to support the skin's ability to resist the effects of intrinsic and extrinsic aging factors. Their flagship product, OS01 Face, is clinically proven to strengthen the skin barrier and improve key skin health markers, meaning signs of aging are significantly diminished. Thank God. For a limited time, our listeners can get 15% off OneSkin with our code SheSpeaks at oneskin.co. Now, I'm so bummed because I got a chemical peel 2 days ago now, so I can't use any new products on my face until I'm done peeling. But clearly, you can tell I care a lot about my skin. So I didn't get this product until after I got my chemical peel, so I can't use it on my face yet. So what's caught my eye about this company is when they say root causes of aging. I'm like, you mean I can go back in time and change my life decisions? No? Oh, something different? Okay. Because most skincare available on the market is designed to provide a temporary reduction in visible signs of aging, addressing just like the surface symptoms, right, of an underlying decline in skin health. I'm going to sound smart again. They were able to leverage their in-house cutting-edge R&D platform and were able to measure the efficacy of age reversal molecules in the lab. I just said a lot of big words. By staining skin samples in the lab and analyzing changes to the skin's genetic data before and after exposure to the OS01 peptide, OneSkin scientists found that the OS01 peptide reverses skin's biological age by reducing the number of senescent cells by up to 50%. I'm about to look 25. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code SheSpeaks at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code SheSpeaks. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin. The next day, Amir checks on Mariah as she packs up. It was really sweet.
Yeah, I love that.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I felt bad because he's like, there must have been a lot more conversation. Bria must have made a whole lot of more mess than they showed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I feel bad because like she didn't really assault her, but if Bria feels uncomfortable, then we gotta listen to her. She said all the words, the buzzwords, the HR buzzwords.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel threatened. Okay, girl.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, sis.
Bria's waking up embarrassed about Phil, but what you should be embarrassed about is what you did with Mariah. Okay. Shanice calls Phil. He is not sorry. He's not sorry. He goes, for what? Sorry for what? Fuck y'all. I'm out. Bye. I'm like, okay, good riddance. This just says everything we need to know about Shanice, though. That's your friend.
Exactly the reaction we expected. And Shanice, it looks like it's only going to get worse for you this season as it goes on, because we still haven't even gotten that random white man that Bria's dating in the house yet. So who knows how that's going to go.
Yeah.
A mess.
Why is Amir using a ladder? Like, he's walking around with the ladder. They're even like, Amir's always doing just weird stuff. He's all walking with the ladder to just to move the curtains a little bit.
Right.
And in my head, I was like, couldn't he just have like scooted it like with the thing?
Like most people would do, yes.
Yeah. But he's like, no, it doesn't look straight that way. So he okay.
I love that. He, I don't know if you saw on social media though, but he said he has beef with Bravo right now because they showed him as 5'7" on the episode. Because you know when they were doing those,
how
like,
tall is he?
stats,
How tall did he say he was?
That's the thing, he wouldn't say. So I'm thinking 5'7" is accurate. Yeah,
I'm sure, buddy. Yeah, you look. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I need to. Am I not following? Oh, yes, I am.
But
then that's when he tells I am following because he has a girlfriend, right? He's posting. He's got a girlfriend there, which is not a good look. You need to stop that.
No, get her out of here.
Yeah, tell her she's not allowed to be on your Instagram for a little bit.
Right,
It's just a bad look. It's
not
working for me. Okay,
because we're supposed to be right now. We're supposed to be wondering if you and Jordan get together during the season, but we can't even wonder that. So whatever.
But this is when he tells him, he's like, so, oops, I'm the one who put the dog stuff in there. And they're not even mad at him. But he's like, I tried, you guys. I did. I put my hand up and you didn't care. Which really fills that in, that he was like,
right.
I just thought he was trying to ask what was going on. That really is so cute.
Right. On a level of 1 to 10, though, of how hard he tried, it was about a 3.
He really didn't try.
Right. He's like, oh no, this is escalating. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Exactly. He's like way too late.
Mm-hmm.
Alex is going to be hosting the field day. After he journals and meditates.
Yes.
Okay. So he talks about how he used to be a player. But meditation has helped him realize that he wasn't being good to himself. This guy's funny. Don't get me wrong. This is a very funny, it's a very funny character to have. But this is also like I can just tell he's toxic. This is like a super toxic type of thing. That type of shit to say.
I didn't want to say it, but like it feels very fuckboy trying to convince you I'm not a fuckboy type situation.
And I'm better than you because I meditate and I journal. What do you do? You don't meditate? Like, shut up.
Yes.
Yeah. And he will be that way.
Exactly. Because I feel like if he was really this, like, you know, I'm Zen when, I feel like if he was really that, then I feel like he would have pulled Shanice to the side to have that conversation with her. But he like kind of bombshelled everybody with it and then just, okay, let's go to the beach. And it was kind of like, okay, that was, you know, why we hadn't seen the audience, and apparently no one else in the house had really seen that. So it's kind of like you bombshelled all of us with that whole you need to keep your hands to yourself kind of thing, which your prerogative to say, like, if that's what you feel like she needs to keep, then say it for sure. But it feels like the person that you're trying to portray would have like pulled her to the side and had a one-on-one conversation instead of like kind of throwing a grenade in front of the whole house and blowing it up and then making everybody go do field day.
Also, like, what he got was just one side of a story.
Right.
And so I'm not a huge Shanice fan, but even I'm like, well, dude, so you get this article and then you're like, oh my God, she's touching me. Like, so yeah, super toxic, super condescending, very, like don't even, dude.
I had done this research. You go ahead. I had done the oh, here it is. I left it up in my phone just for you because we got to record. Y'all, okay. So if y'all don't know, they revealed this later in the episode, right, about the Insecure Act. So what he's talking about is there was an article that came out that said insecure actor. So he's not insecure, but y'all know the Issa Rae show that comes on HBO. That was amazing. 5 seasons. You haven't watched it. Amazing binge. You'll fall in love with it. Great. But her insecure actor Norman Towns shares his crazy breakup experience with ex-girlfriend Shanice Jordan, who is stalking him. Her picture's right there, good and bold, there.
Damn.
Yeah, good and big. And first of all,
yeah.
But he's one of the actors. He was for y'all that watch, he was one of Molly's like guys, or he wasn't like a main, like when I heard insecure actor, I was thinking like the guy that plays Daniel or Lawrence or like, someone like I was thinking one of the main guys, but he was just like, he was one of the guys that Molly dated on the show. Molly's Issa's best friend on the show. So, but it's, it's worth reading about because it was kind of a lot. And I love that Shanice says in the episode, she's like, well, some of it's true. Yeah.
Which then made me go, so most of it's true.
Exactly.
So listen, while I don't doubt there's validity to it, the way Alex went about this was so
the whole wrong
odd.
Way. Yeah.
He's like, I gotta stay away from you, personal space. And I can spot crazy off Shanice anyway. Believe me, I can feel who walks out with their tits hanging out.
Before the article, yeah.
She got out that car weird. She got out the car weird.
Yes,
I didn't like it.
You saying that always makes me laugh because my cousins always say that I'm the person that doesn't like. It takes me. I get along with anybody, but I'm literally the person that will like have a vendetta against somebody for like the weirdest thing. I'll be like, do you see how he sips out of that straw? That is so fucking weird, and I will not let it go, and I will just like have a vendetta against this person. They're like, drop it, Jesus. So I love that you noticed that about her getting out of that car. I hate it because, like, why are you doing that? Like, stop.
And then again, when I watched it again, I was like, she didn't really do anything. Just something I don't like about it.
Right.
I like the way she got out and walked in the house.
Foreshadowing.
Like so I picked up on something clearly. Because so regardless, Alex is, as much as he's gonna be Mr. like I meditate and journal guy, I'm like, that was not the way to handle it. And also, again, you should have asked her like, whoa, I got this article about you. Like, that would be the cool thing to do if you're all enlightened.
Right. Which we knew you weren't, but that's okay.
Anyone who has to talk about it that much.
Right.
Okay. Anyone who has to make such a spectacle of how enlightened they are, like, please. But in the cars, Shanice complains about Alex saying the whole she can't let it go. She's like, which really, unfortunately, is proving the point about him having a reason to worry. She's like, what the fuck was that about? Like, she won't drop it. I'm like, so you have some obsessive tendencies.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we need to be concerned about. But then Amir in the car tells them, like, yeah, I saw Shanice's boobs. And I could sense Alex being like, yep, that's something she would do. Like, I bet it's just, what are we doing here?
Yep.
So it turns out all the guys are attracted to Jordan. Shocker.
Right.
I have a question. Had you ever heard of an erudite before?
No.
Or a sapiosexual?
I've seen that word, but I've never thought to say, oh, let me go look at that. I was just like, oh, that sounds like something I might be into one day. I've got to develop there. I don't know what that is, but
like, fuck, Nick just throws that word out because Silas is all surprised that Alex is even attracted to anyone because I guess Alex like never says he is, and Nick's like, yeah, you need a real erudite, and I'm like, I would have been like, a what?
Right.
But Amir goes, wow, erudite. And I'm like, Amir, did you know what that is? Amir, don't act
This
like
is
you
why he
do.
reminds us of Brian Benny so much sometimes. Because
Yes.
it seems like that's what he would do.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, that whole lawyer conversation with him
That's
and
not very lawyer-like of you.
right. Like, why are you using air quotes right now?
I love that scene. I need to
Yes.
rewatch that episode. But so Nick, though, you called it immediately. He's doing the whole like, I get this brother sister vibe going on with Jordan, and Silas is like, okay, I think that yeah, he's like. Never seen Nick actually shoot his shot, but he's Mr. Slide into DMs, which is so fucking creepy, and says all we need to know about guys who slide into DMs. Like, copy that.
I'm telling you guys, I picked it up on episode 1. He's that guy at church that wants a hug all the time. It's just like, get out of here. Don't get in my personal
for
space.
Everything, every little thing. Oh, give me a hug. No, I just
right.
God.
I ain't seen you in a 4th of Sundays. Come over here, girl. Let me give you a hug. It's like, no, not in front of the Lord. Get out of here. Hate this.
But then Nick is like being all cagey, and so then production goes like back and forth between Alex and Nick's confessionals, and Alex he says Nick is being intellectually dishonest, which we're gonna find out is that Nick has a girlfriend. That's the big reveal. I'm like okay, what?
It's so it's like such a like a not a thing, but it's such a thing too.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yes.
It's like, first of all, why are you in here going so hard for Jordan if you have a girlfriend?
You're creeping everyone out, dude. Like
Everyone.
that's got to be why he didn't want to say it, because he's like, this isn't gonna work, is it? Because like I am on camera, and she's gonna expect me to say I have a girlfriend. However, all these girls are gonna have stories of me sliding into their DMs.
Yep.
So that's
All
why he's
of
like,
them.
what do I do? So we understood why you were all freaked out about saying it, but it's freaked out for multiple reasons.
And that, you know what? It's crazy that he didn't try to get ahead of this more, because
Agreed.
I couldn't imagine, like, imagine you were the girlfriend and you find out like, oh my God, my boyfriend is about to be on this great show. I can't wait to support it. And you find out he actually went to like, go hang out with all the incredibly hot women that he's been in their DMs flirting with for God knows how long.
This is exactly what I was about to say. Why would you not, if you're going to end up saying you have a girlfriend, go back into those DMs and say, hey, hope we have a great summer. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit on you. I actually have a girlfriend.
Right.
Because you were keeping your options open or something. That's what it feels like. And then it kind of is clear, like, I'm probably not going to get with any of these chicks. I'll have a girlfriend. That's what it feels like.
I think that once they had their car ride and he found out that literally everyone was into Jordan, and I think he knew right then, he was like, oh shit, I don't have a chance.
Right? He's like, now I have a girlfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would like to see this girlfriend too.
Me
so
too.
Bring her to the house for a week or whatever's going on in there now.
I'm not buying it at all.
No.
We get to the Inkwell Beach. Jasmine gives us the history lesson. I live for her history lessons. I'm obsessed.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with them being peppered in there. I love it. Amir
There's an old
eats
movie
it up
with
too.
Jada Pinkett Smith too called Inkwell. So if y'all want a little, you know, seasoning from this episode, go watch Inkwell. Great movie.
Oh, okay. Nick and Jordan they are the team captains, and I love the stats that they put up whenever someone gets picked for the team.
Yes.
Preston's gets a Charlie horse sitting down.
Me.
I love Jasmine. She's like, as long as I get picked before the dog. It's so cute. I love Jasmine.
I do too.
She's a lot. I love her. She's a lot, but I knew we were going to love her. I knew she was going to be a lot at first, but she was like the heart.
And I don't know if I haven't just like noticed it in the past couple episodes, but I think it's a new confessional look that we see this episode, and it is a good one. Like she looks fantastic, and I was like, "Ooh, okay," just like a little curl to the hair, like a little going on. I was like, "Ooh, okay, Jasmine, I see you. I see you. She's trying to remind y'all Jordan isn't the only hottie in the house. I know that's right.
That's right.
Mama still got it.
I love Amir demonstrating dizzy ball and falling over himself. Like he demonstrates it too well, and then he falls like all the way back. They're doing that personal space meter between like Alex and Shanice the whole time. It's sweet. Nick and Jordan decide on a tie. They decide on a tie, and Nick and Jordan have like this whole thing going. And Amir he's right on. He sees what Nick's doing. He's like, I see the tactic. Okay, he's playing like I'm your friend. I'm not interested in the hot girl, but I'm really interested in the hot girl.
Exactly.
So he's like, don't worry, I got my own tactics. Okay. So he's like, you got to keep flirting, but you got to keep it discreet. So he would get in my panties in no time. So I can't really speak to what he's doing right or wrong. Yeah. Like yes. Like he walked in like, yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So Bria pushes Shanice though to go talk to Alex. And it's incredibly uncomfortable because Alex loves this like power thing, I think. Like he loves having this knowledge of this article. She doesn't know. He knows. Or maybe she wonders if he knows. Maybe that's what her fear is.
Oh, I like that theory.
Maybe that's what she's probably super insecure about that because she knows it's public knowledge.
Ooh, insecure. Yeah.
Insecure.
Ooh.
It all circles back. I think that could be it. I think she could be like freaked out by that. And so she's like, I don't get it. What is it?
I'm into that theory. Let's go with it. I'm into that.
She probably thinks about it. It's like Tinsley with her mugshot. Like when we first meet Tinsley on Roni, she tells everybody about her mugshot because she's so insecure about it.
Right.
So I feel like that could kind of be it. But I love Bria, Jasmine. They're like, that's not her at all. All those things, that's just not her. I'm like, you've been listening to Shanice. Shanice has been feeding you. Like, I would never, you guys. I would never. But I'm sure there's like records that like, so that's why Shanice has to be like, I mean, I did call him a bunch of times. That's true.
Right.
Because I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he has like legal documents that prove it.
And they like try to defend that. They're like, well, I mean, yeah, if you would call him 1,000,000 times, but like, if he doesn't answer, then of course there's gonna be records of you calling him 1,000,000 times. It's like,
I'm like, huh?
Don't know about that, but okay.
How? Because if he doesn't pick up, you don't keep calling.
Right, exactly.
You're missing the point.
Like there's still 99 other times where you called. So
yeah, so that's the problem. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then she goes, he tried to press charges, but they wouldn't give him the restraining order because he was still texting me. So I'm sure it was just toxic back and forth, but sounds like there was some truth to it. So then they go home, they cook dinner together, which is super adorable. And it turns, when Amir asks Preston if he puts breadcrumbs in his mac and cheese, and Preston's like, oh my God. No. It's like you would be literally kicked out of a black person's home if you ever did that. But it turns out Amir's mom enrolled him in cooking camps because he was such a picky eater.
How cute is that?
Little tiny Amir all cooking.
I love that.
Oh, it's so cute.
Love that.
Yeah. And
he scared me with the, if you don't use, what do you say? If you don't use what do you say? If you don't do the breadcrumbs, do you do crackers? I was like,
yeah, he said crackers.
Let's calm down. Something, yeah.
I think he even said saltines. I said, what?
Right. I'm like, no.
What culinary cooking class taught you that?
Exactly. Gordon Ramsay would have a fucking field day.
Yeah, for real.
No.
But Amir and Jordan have a cute, like, flirty moment in the kitchen talking about steak. It's cute. But then they talk about because they all sit down to eat, having like girls' night and a guys' night. And Jordan jokes, well, I know what we're not going to do for girls' night is go out till 3 or 4 in the morning. I can tell Silas is drunk at this point. Like I can tell he is like, but he's like whiskey drunk or scotch drunk or one of those dark liquor drunks. That's what's in his hand. And Jasmine starts joking on girls. Like, yeah, we're gonna get free drinks. And Silas snaps. in that moment. His whole face changes. He's like, pay for your own drinks. And he keeps repeating this over and over. And you can just feel it all transforms in this moment.
Yep. Did me and you have this conversation the other week when we talked about Martha's Vineyard? Because I feel like we recently talked about buying our own. Did we talk about that, buying your own drinks at? Why do I remember that? I don't know what I'm thinking about right now. Maybe
you probably talked about it with someone else.
It may be.
What did we say? Or maybe I'm forgetting. You know, I have no memory.
I don't know. I feel like we said something about. No, I feel like it was you. I think you said that you don't understand why women want guys to buy them drinks at bars, because then you have to, then you got to deal with the guy the whole night. That.
Yeah, no, I personally hate it when guys buy me a drink because it's like, whoa, now you owe me something. And I'm like, you can literally leave me alone. Okay.
Me, I'm same for me, but it's another reason. And y'all know I'm a little bit psycho. Y'all know this by now. If I have to laugh at myself more than I care to, but if I didn't see like them pour the drink, I don't want it because I don't trust anybody anywhere.
Oh, okay, so you know what? Like, that's fair. That's actually not stupid. That's actually like if you watch enough true crime, that's actually
and you know, me and you are true crime like put it in our veins. So
yeah,
I'm all true. I'm like no. I didn't see you make that. I didn't see you pour that.
I don't know
like,
you.
No. I don't know you. Don't do that. Nope.
Nope. Don't come bring me a drink. What did you put in that?
Right. Like no, thank you. I need to watch the person do it.
Yeah. Good point.
If you want to impress me, then you send the waitress or waiter over to me and say that person would love to buy you a drink. They said pick anything you want and then let me order through you.
Yes.
Like, that's how you do
come over holding a drink in your hand. That is just poison.
Ugh,
what did you do to it? No, thank you. Absolutely not.
Nope.
No. Oh, stop. So Shanice though starts making it worse. Shanice starts going like, this one gets drunk. Shanice knew what she was doing here. Yes. She could tell Silas was losing it. This is what we said. This is going to be the big adjustment. Jasmine has clearly changed her personality to be wifey. Yes. But she's clearly ratchet as hell. Yeah. And they like that about Jasmine. Like, they're like, who is this Jasmine all Betty Crockered out? Like, this turns out Jasmine, she didn't tell him, but she was fired from the Playboy Club for turning up drunk. Oh,
like what?
Girl, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And so obviously that's not going to go so well. So they go off to bed and the girls, and they talk about how different Jasmine is with Silas. And Jasmine goes to the truth booth and she's already talking about how she's kind of like, marriage is tough. I'm like, girl, you just got married. You just got married. This
she talks like
honeymoon.
She's like, right. Like she's going through the 7-year itch or something. It's like, y'all just got married like 3 days before the show. Like, calm down.
Yeah. Like for real. So then the rest of the crew talk about like relationship dynamics, and that's when Nick is like, yeah, I have a girlfriend, like has a really hard time saying it, and they're like, oh, and Nick, Shanice goes, here, I got some DMs that he literally messaged me right before this and saying he wanted to marry me.
Jesus.
So yeah. So Nick, you're dumb.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that play out.
Me too. Yeah, I'm very excited. I love this show. Like, love it. We already got security called in once. Like, let's do it. Let's fucking go.
We get some replacements next. You know, I'm a Bad Girls Club fan, so like I live for a replacement. I love the energy of a new person coming into the house after other people have been kicked out. Love that. So we're getting not one but 2 replacements.
Yes, Phil and Summer.
Yes. Shout out to Mariah, because R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Mariah.
R.I.P. Mariah, but, you know, I'm glad we got I love new energy all the time. Like, can't go wrong with new energy.
Totally.
Shut up! That is so stupid!
If you love your hair, if you love your skin, I don't know what you're doing not using Kitsch. Kitsch takes all of that hair care, skincare to the next level. Because if you didn't know, you don't want to be sleeping on nasty, dry chafy pillowcases. That's horrible for your skin and for your hair. It causes wrinkles. It causes damage to your hair, breakage. Also towels, hair towels. When I found out we should not be using regular towels on our hair, I have never looked back. Scrunchies, you should never use just a plain old hair tie. It should be covered in something like satin, vegan cruelty-free satin. Thank you, Kitsch. Beauty does not stop once you're done with your shower routine, your nighttime routine, your morning routine. It is when you are sleeping. It's when you're running around. So Kitsch makes all of those products so that you feel and look beautiful and are protecting yourself against damage and aging morning, noon, and night. They started in 2010 by, get this, selling hair ties door to door. Remember when we did door to door? And they just had a hustle and a dream. And now they're sold in over 20,000 retail locations. Self-funded, female-founded. I mean, let's give it up. We always want to support female-founded businesses. Their best sellers are the satin pillowcases, caps, and eye masks. And they just launched the most chic, the chicest colors for spring for those pillowcases. Let's get into what they're most known for. Their heatless satin curling rollers. Now this is a TikTok craze. You got people throwing out those like $600 curling irons for these things. Don't settle for knockoffs. Kitsch, they invented these curling rollers, okay? They started it. They are the pioneers of heatless, damage-free hair care and beauty. They started the craze. Kitsch does also make rice water shampoo bars. And that helps with like overall hair growth and density. And there's rosemary scalp oil that is really good for scalp health and hair strength from root to tip. Right now, Kitsch is offering you 30% off your entire order at mykitsch.com/shespeaks. That's right, 30% off anything and everything at mykitsch, spelled mykitsch.com/shespeaks. One more time, mykitsch.com/shespeaks for 30% off your entire order.
Shut up! That is so stupid!
Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. This week's sponsor, Wild Grain. I have a real, true personal endorsement, a story to tell you guys. A few days ago, we had company coming over. And Wild Grain sent me a box of their delicious pastries, pastas, and breads. And I haven't gone through it all. And we had this delicious loaf of sourdough still in there. So we had company coming over. I threw it in the oven. Y'all, we looked like the hostess with the mostesses because everyone walking in was like, what are you baking? What are you doing? We're like, oh, just bread. Just baking some bread. Don't you bake bread? You don't bake? Well, we do. We bake bread. Because the thing with Wild Grain, it's the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, fresh pastas, and artisanal pastries. Baking from frozen is the key. Who thinks ahead? If I thought ahead and thought out something, well, that's the kind of planning I'm not doing. People were coming over in an hour and I was like, we could put bread in the oven. And we made it nice. And unlike your typical supermarket bread, Wild Grain uses a slower fermentation process so that it's easier on your belly. It's lower in sugar and it's rich in nutrients and antioxidants. So you have to eat it because it's good for you. Every item bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. And you don't run the risk of getting bored with Wild Grain. They're constantly adding new and seasonal, limited time special items to try. Plus, for every new member, Wild Grain donates 6 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So you can eat good and do good at the same time. All you have to do is sign up at wildgrain.com/shespeaks and choose which type of box you want to receive and how often. It's super easy to reschedule, skip, or cancel. Plus, for a limited time, you can get $30 off your first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/shespeaks to start your subscription. You heard me, okay? Free croissants in every box. Plus $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/shespeaks. That's wildgrain.com/shespeaks. Or you can use promo code shespeaks at checkout. All right, on to Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Look at you coming off your cruise ship, having a little cruise ship vibe.
No. Oh my God. I wish you could have saw. I literally had to consider. I'm like, am I going to wear this shirt on this recording? I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I wore it was almost like a Hawaii shirt to work today.
Yes,
like a button down short sleeve. It was orange, but it had like white, like weird flowers on it, like all the way around it. I was like, I felt like I was at Hawaii. Like, I don't know. That was the vibe I was going for.
When Michael Scott comes back from Jamaica.
Yes.
And he has like the little beads in his hair here. And he keeps going, feeling hot, hot, hot. And he's like, and he keeps going, yeah, man.
Yes.
No one's
exactly
into it.
me.
That was it's Kendrick.
I know.
Okay. On Watch What Happens Live, Marlo, she doesn't know how to do the thing where you answer one of the questions, but you don't give away what's coming up in the season.
Yeah.
So right away, Andy asked the question, like you said, why were you so upset about Drew not saying shooting? And she starts answering and going on, and Andy had to cut her off. Andy's like, okay, well, we're going to see that play out this season. And I could feel him being like, these fucking amateurs. Like, God, I swear to God. It's because Marlo gets so caught up in defending herself.
Yes.
That she loses sight of how to do the job. We do have taglines. That's right. We got taglines.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Candies. My roots are in Atlanta, but my branches are worldwide.
I like that one. All right. I like that one.
Drew, forget the gaslight. I'm taking the spotlight.
Applicable. I like an applicable tagline.
Applicable. Yes. Marlo's. My past may be checkered, but my future is solid gold.
My issue with this is I feel like referring to slashing women in the face as a checkered past is a little... I don't know. And I don't know where this like gold future she's referring to. Yep. I don't know if because she's wearing gold in the... Yep. I don't know, but don't get it too much. Not my favorite.
Not my favorite. And also, this is the same storyline you have all the time. Like, that's your same bit. Like, you're always like recovering from your past, or not your past anymore. You're blah, blah, blah. Like, okay.
Always in therapy. Oh, I'm a new person, but it's not like, really.
But you're not,
Right.
Kenya's. I don't just do it for the culture. Honey, I am the culture. I just don't get where that's coming from.
No idea where that's coming from. I actually do like it, though, because it has nothing to do with her storyline this season, though. But I like it because I feel like Kenya Moore was such like a part of my childhood. Like, I remember every 90s TV show that I watched, she made an appearance on it. And I don't know if it was just because, like, obviously up-and-coming actress, but, like, obviously she won Miss USA, too. So, like, I think that played a reason into why she had all of these, like, guest spots and stuff. But I, like, Martin, hanging with Mr. Cooper. Like, she was on, like, so many different stuff. So, like, when she said it, that's what I thought about. But I was like, that has nothing to do with literally anything going on.
What are we talking about?
Right. I'm like, I don't even know what that's applicable to. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's just add it. Okay. I'm going to save Sheree's for the last one. Let's go Sonya's first. Sonya's is, this is so Sonya, so lame. If you can't keep the pace, stay out of my race. God. Bored, Sonya.
Same as last season.
Yeah. Okay, we get it. You ran a lot. Sheree's, though. She by Sheree, more like she broke the internet.
The delusions are at an all-time high, as usual. All-time high.
You putting up a screen on She by Sheree's homepage saying it broke is not the same as it actually breaking.
Right.
And crashing the site.
Because that was a beautiful message. Beautiful message. Well written, everything. Signature, like all kind of stuff on there. Almost as if you predicted it would break.
Oh, yeah. That's
wink,
interesting. Almost as if you were like, shit, I'm not ready. Let's put that up. That's good. Yeah,
God.
okay. Yeah. All right, we are at Chateau Charest, and this post BravoCon. I forgot that we were going to be getting like post BravoCon
Yes.
conversations,
Mhm.
and by the way, the color on Sheree's wig is god awful.
That like the streaky
the
that
streaky,
one?
it's so
yeah, not a fan.
So bad. It's like you can even see where they put the foil and didn't blend it. Like I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, take that thing off your head.
It's aggressive. Yeah.
It's very bad. It's tacky, okay. But the Mama Joyce drama is number one. Mama Joyce, I forgot. But the Drew panel with Sonya is what Sonya is upset about. Because Sonya can't, like, Drew knows how to have a little, because she was like, we got to get somebody talking. And Sonya and I, we had a little thing. And Sonya is just, she's so sensitive to that stuff. And she takes it so personal. And she's so serious.
Right.
So that was our problem with her at the reunion. My God, we were like, loosen up.
Right.
Lord.
Not that big of a deal.
She was like, she took it so serious.
And we didn't
said, we wanted her to, we're like, you get a chance. You can come back learning your lessons. But she's learned no lessons. I'm over it.
They're not learned. I do love that they're
not learned.
Squashed it. I love that they squashed this episode, though.
Me too. Like,
don't carry that shit on. Right. Don't carry that on.
I don't have the energy.
Right.
I don't know how I want to do it.
Good for a one episoder, but no more. Like, we're done with that shit. No.
Yeah. Sheree tells about the conversation with Kenya, though, and the delusion. She says, Sheree goes, she felt like I was taking up for him, and I said, no, I'm taking up for what's right. He felt ambushed. Girl. And then in her confessional, I think it's important that my friends respect Martell. Honey.
Oh, well, girl. You can count your days.
Honey. She says this man is kind. He's funny. None of the arrogance or cockiness that I see on his show. I wouldn't be attracted to that person.
I don't.
Okay.
First of all, I guess the obvious needs to be stated, but why would Martell think he was ambushed in any situation when he's on a reality show where people know how he's treated his ex-wife? Like, I feel like you should expect that to come up. Like, you're not an idiot, Martell. Like, you know that's gonna come up.
That's what the first red flag. Like I said last week, like, if you're gonna come on this show, you better be prepared to get a lot of heat and be like, I know, but honestly, I'm different with Sheree. Something's different. But instead he's like, what have I done? I'm a king.
Right.
No, you're not.
Sheree is allowing him to live in that land of delusion because Sheree lives it. She's like, well, I already live here, so come on over.
That's perfect. She's
exactly.
the easiest person to screw over.
Yes.
I hate saying it, but Sheree, you are.
Absolutely. You know, Sheree. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
And Marlo's all because Marlo needs a team. So she's like, I wasn't feeling Martell at first, but now I'm totally feeling Martell. Totally feeling him. Totally into it. I'm like, oh God, you guys, you don't, okay. You just look foolish.
Right.
You look foolish just because you want to be mad at Kandi and Kenya. You are going to do this? You're going to co-sign Martell Holt?
Can I just say... The people, it's so crazy. Like, if Kandi and Kenya were to beef, like, I couldn't make this statement. But the fact that it's always like Sheree and Marlo, the people that genuinely could use Kandi's help the most always find themselves at odds with her. And I'm like, why? Like, you could literally, like, you said, Marlo, you was, okay, girl. Sheree, okay, you with the fledgling business that cannot get it off the ground have known Kandi for over a decade. You have known her for over a decade now. Kandi like makes successful businesses in her sleep. At least talk to Don Juan. Like, there are a lot of people you can get to help you, but you always on the losing team, Sheree.
Because Sheree's so damn stubborn and is she's like, I have people helping me. I have people to do that. Who?
Right.
Who are you paying $1 million to because you always are spending too much money, according to you? Who are you paying to like fuck up your businesses?
Yeah, exactly. Because we haven't even seen RHOA this season, so I'm sure she's like, okay, this is not a good resume builder right here. I got to get out while I can. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay, Drew and Ralph go rock climbing. I wrote in all caps, y'all, what is this?
They are this scene though, because I was like, what is going on? But this scene is so chaotic.
Oh yeah.
When they start talking, I was like,
Yeah.
literally, I had like an out of body experience. Like, what am I actually watching right now?
What? Because okay, so I'm glad we're gonna talk through this because my notes I got so confused. First of all, they show Dr. Ken, and we already in case you guys don't know, Dr. Ken is tragically bad. So fire him. Fired now. Get out.
Yes.
Don't listen to him. Drew goes, since we both love a good challenge, what is a better date to do than something we both love? I'm like, but you don't like to rock climb.
Right.
So a challenge is fine, but how is this a challenge for him?
Right.
Whatever. But then she ends up like winning. So I don't understand what was happening. I
No
could not
idea.
for the life of me figure out what was going on.
No, I was just happy they had fun. I'm like, well, good for you guys.
Yeah. So they finish that. Then they go and they sit down. They talk a little bit about her music thing, which we just saw a scene where they went to a producer's studio. Ralph said, you got a keyboard? I want to show off my keyboard skills. And then he makes the joke that they'll be like Ike and Tina. Now, you guys.
Wild.
Kendrick sent Kendrick sent me this weird reel that Ralph posted. It is, I'm going to describe it. It's hard to describe the weirdness of it, though, because it starts with him in another room, and then he gets up and walks silently to watch the TV show and watch this scene. And it's him. This is the shot. It's him standing there watching it. Then when he says on the TV show, Ike and Tina, then Ralph goes to talking to the TV like, you shouldn't do that. You should never say something like that. Who are you? Go over there. And then the next shot is him in a corner, like facing the corner like he's on timeout.
It's so weird.
I just described it accurately. That's what happened.
Yes. Was it supposed to be funny or was it? I didn't know what this was supposed to be. Like, it feels very much like I'm going through a midlife crisis. Honestly, I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
No idea.
So So the song is at 30K streams, which Drew's excited for, but he's like, that's not enough. She's like, well, you didn't do anything with it. You released it and then you just went back to work. And he's like, well, there's times, where like I got to do my own thing, like I got to work. And she's like, I'm confused though, because she's like, yeah, so he doesn't want to do the music?
All right. What signals are you sending right now?
We just had a scene with you guys doing music, but now he doesn't want to do them. What?
I don't. I'm still stuck on Ike and Tina. Like, honestly, I can't. Honestly, I'm stuck on Jay-Z and Beyonce too.
Yeah, that equally. But no, of all the people to say, Ike and Tina, the most notoriously abusive man.
Like what?
Why would you ever say Ike?
You're already about to get like the horrible edit of the year because we know y'all are getting divorced. So now we're going to be looking back on this season like wondering like, okay, where you see him do that? Okay, look, what did he do over there? We're watching you like with a magnifying glass right now. You don't need to give us any extra ammunition. Don't call yourself Ike Turner on cap. Like, I get what he was trying to say that like, because, Ike was an amazing musician, but, like, I mean, there are a lot of terrible people that are amazing musicians. You could think of someone else to say. Now, Jay-Z was a stretch all
the way to the end of time.
Your arm is hurt from that reach. Like, get out of here. But You mean like maybe child, who's
I'm excited for who you're gonna say. Who are you gonna say?
I know, I can't even.
Who are you going to say? Say it now.
Like, I don't even know. Like, maybe, oof. I can't even say Stevie J and Jocelyn because, like, Stevie J has Grammys. So, like, I don't even know. I don't know. Who is this? I don't know.
So, no. Nobody.
No idea. No one.
No equivalent.
One. No. A1 and no, I can't even say that because they produce hits. I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all are no one.
No one.
No. Karaoke.
They go. There you go. Accurate.
There we go.
They go over to Kenya's house, and Kenya is yelling at someone on the phone about a picture not being the right size. It's brutal. Like, she is screaming this guy, but they're simultaneously using her confessional where she talks about how she just has this really soft spot for young people. As much as I get that it seems like, like ironic, I bet like what she's saying is I have this soft spot for young people who are just idiots.
Right.
And this is what I get.
Exactly.
Like, you need to stop hiring them because you look psychotic.
The editors were perfect this episode. You remember I text you while I was watching because I know you obviously you're West Coast, so you're delayed to watch it. So I text you. I was like, there are like 4 moments that made me audibly like crack the hell up during this episode, and I didn't know if you could guess any of them. We're gonna talk about one scene that had me crack up, I think 2 times, and I'm sure you probably, when we get to it, you'll know what it is. But I have to mention it once we get there because this episode was this Kenya one. That wasn't an audible one, but I love that scene because she's like going on and on about how caring she is.
It wouldn't stop. She's yelling at this guy. Like, why would you even do it like that? But why? What is wrong with you? Like, she's really giving it to him.
Good Lord. Ooh.
But she FaceTimes Monietta. Monieta's going to, so she says that she's going to do a surprise performance at the Magic City Classic with their band.
I guess so. I'm
baffled by this job.
I have no idea. I'm thinking it's something. They said it's HBCU related, right?
Yes.
So I can imagine what it is, because I'm guessing it's the scene we see where, well, I don't know. Let me not predict that. But I was guessing it's the scene with when they have on like the majorette outfits, her in Brooklyn shooting the whatever.
Oh, yes.
And Cynthia comes in. So I don't know if that's where we're going to get that moment or whatever, but I don't know. Because we're going on a little trip, aren't we? Next episode.
And of course it's a Kenya trip, and they're all going to be kicked out.
Right.
Kenya's going to ditch them and make them, because Kenya is the worst host. If it's a Kenya trip, it's the crab cakes. We'll never let it go.
Right, because she's leaving to go be with Brooklyn at some point. So she's like, okay, I've entertained y'all enough. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Now we're at Kandi's office with Don Juan. Her outfit for courtside seats is hilarious. She's got this red jacket on and black leather shorts with tights, and I'm like, what?
Dressed like a city girl. I know that's right.
Yes.
She's dressing like if you want one of the players to notice you, but I'm like, you're going with your husband, aren't you?
Right?
Which I always applaud that. I'm like, look, I used to, terrible thing to say, but like, well, we were all in on it, okay? Her mom and me, but my cousin, when she was like 20, 21, 22, like that, we would always like get her gussied up to go sit at the Grizzlies game, because we're like, okay, one of these guys might notice you. Yes, we're like, one of these guys might notice you. We might, all of us might be able to live off of him for the rest of our lives. I don't have to work anymore. Like, let's make this happen. Never worked, but we tried, okay? We're like, if anybody, you're our one chance in the family.
Damn it.
Man. Never worked.
They do her must list, and it's super long. And of course, at the end of that, she's supposed to add in Todd's movie, The Pass.
Sure.
And I'm like, I feel bad that I'm supposed to maybe care about it, but I'm like, nah. Monietta comes over. The piano lesson is now up on Broadway, which is fabulous. And so now they're talking about the BravoCon drama. It started when Kandi said she would pick Don Juan to control her money.
I mean, smart, but okay.
And that's all it took. It's all it took. And then
Mhm.
Mama Joyce was on a tear on every panel she did, having the time of her life, talking
Yes.
shit about Todd.
And for
this-
y'all that don't know, just like for a little bit of context, this was around like, Kandi and the Gang time. So like it made sense for the OLG like to be there because all three aunts, Nora, Bertha, and Joyce were all there like doing panels and stuff. So it wasn't just like her and Kandi like doing stuff. It was all three of them kind of like out and about at BravoCon. So just for background clarity.
Yes. And Kayla sent Todd the video of Mama Joyce dissing him, right? That's what happened?
Yes.
So he had to see that. Whatever. Kandi is made up like some sort of forest creature or something when they do a flashback to Todd calling her. And I'm like, are we not going to get an explanation of what this was? She's all purple and sparkly. And I'm like,
right. What's happening?
That's nothing. Or they're just going to cut to that and go away. Okay.
I feel like that's like their humor to these editors because they have been cracking me up. You know what? These Atlanta editors are loving the overlay feature where they'll just like show someone and then they have like a clip from something. Like they're having a wonderful time on Canva.
The overlay feature.
Mhm.
That's so funny.
They're loving it.
I'm dying to know what the thing that cracked you up. Was it that? Anything there?
No, not there. Where do we go next? Do we go to Drew?
We go to Drew and Candace. Drew talking to Candace, like, because Drew's at home.
Oh,
and then Candace calls.
And Courtney's coming over, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That
scene, correct. Yes.
So Shamari has canceled, and so now Candace like, Drew, you come do it. And then Courtney comes over. Drew knows Courtney's, is that ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, ex-partner, something?
Oh my God. Now I forgot. Damn it. I meant to rewatch this episode because like he's like that's no small he does like plays and stuff, but like, he was in a music group that had some good music. Damn it, what was it? Did you write it down? What was it? Shit, I'm mad at myself. We will revisit this next episode. But like like recognizable face. I didn't know him and Courtney.
It's just weird that Courtney is the cousin and that that they're not together. This is like her best friend. Right.
Really weird.
Very strange
ex-partner. I don't know what they are now, but okay.
Yeah. So Drew, now I don't believe Drew wasn't totally being messy. She's like, I'm gonna FaceTime Kandi. And Courtney goes, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
But then Drew is like, Kandi, say hi to Courtney. And I like Kandi going, and you called me. Like she's putting it together like, so you tried to make me a part of your fucking scene on camera. And Drew's like, no, I wasn't there for it. I missed it.
Like, no, y'all gossip so fast. You heard about this, but okay, Drew.
And I think we even saw her hear the story multiple times.
I think so, yes. This is one of the first instances though, because when Drew says, she says, "Oh, I'm about to call Kandi," they like go like pan the screen over to Courtney's face, and they just show her for a while, and all you hear in the background is, "I'm about to headbutt this bitch," and I rewound it about 3 times. I cracked the fuck up. I was like, they are loving this overlay feature because earlier in the season when Marlo was talking about how exhausted she was, they show her eating something, and all you hear in the background is, "Today drained me." And I was like, this is so stupid.
They're having so much fun. They're using sound bites. That's amazing.
Yes, I love it. I've been having a time. But that one is so funny because like Courtney is literally just standing there looking like this. It's like, "I'm about to headbutt this bitch." And I was like, this is so dumb. But that's like one of my favorite quotes of all time now. So love that. You say
all the time.
Love that.
All right, they sit to eat. Courtney then says the thing I've been waiting for, and she's like, so Sonia, who totally heard that I was pissed about the Kandi thing, is all like, I don't remember saying what I said. And I'm like, good, because I want Sonia called out for being absolutely playing all sides.
Yes.
Because she does, and it's really annoying. And Drew, of course, is like, yes, I hate Sonya too. Well, no, she doesn't really say I hate her, but she's just like, yeah, we had some issues. And then Drew in her confessionals, like, and then I noticed she unfollowed me. That is a big deal when someone unfollows you. That is making a major statement.
Yes.
Most of the
times
time,
we live in.
people will say, like, I remember one time when this happened on Beverly Hills when Kyle was upset that someone like unfollowed her or something.
Yes.
She's like, I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I like Drew being dumb. She's like, it is a very big deal. It's a statement.
Yeah. It's even funnier because we just came off of this season of Ultimate Girls Trip where like Portia didn't tag Leah and Candace in the picture, and it was like the biggest deal in the world. So it's like, good Lord, social media is just a beast
statement.
of its own. It's a statement. It's definitely a statement.
There's ways to send messages without doing much. So Marlo is driving the boys around, and it turns out she lost her other nephew Quentin to gun violence. That gets brought up here. The major thing I took away from this scene was that Marlo asked the boys if they can see a difference in her now that they've started seeing the life coach. And William, it's silent for a minute, and William goes, I can see you're trying.
The nicest way he could possibly say it without lying.
He's so sweet. He's really, really sweet. Okay. A little bit of rehearsal with Candace and Drew, and then we get her show. Kandi gives Marlo a perfectly cold greeting. I respected the coldness.
As she should. Yes.
I respected it well. So Marlo like gets up to leave, and Sonya's like, so we're not talking to Marlo? Like, what are we doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Why don't you have a thought of your own?
Right.
Courtney, of course, Marlo's going to give Courtney life. And it's so transparent when the outcast like befriends the newbie this hardcore. It's like, we know what you're doing.
You're right.
But I guess like who else would she hang out with?
You're right. Sheree's home sick, so
she is home, quote, sick. And what did she say? Sorry that I had to miss an opportunity to see our girl flop it like Drew.
Yeah.
But I don't feel well.
That was one of the other things that made me audibly laugh because
Sheree, like Drew.
We say a lot about Sheree, but we'll never say that her shade doesn't hit when it hits.
Flop it because drop it. I was like, oh my God, that's way too good.
They set that like whole scene up perfect because they made Chateau Sheree like look like a haunted house.
They did.
Like lightning was like thundering and lightning and stuff, and they like zoom in on Sheree, like she gives us like one liner and then like no more from her the rest of the episode. I'm like, okay. There we go.
Bizarre. It was like a haunted house. It was so weird.
Love it.
Candace starts performing, and holy shit, she's amazing.
Yes.
I wouldn't expect it to be that good. Like, because, you know, let's face it, we've seen some pretty rinky-dink looking housewives performances. This was like, okay. I like
the hair looked great too.
The hair, the outfit, the
leotard,
dancing, everything. It was legit. It was professional. Like, she's truly a star.
She's doing it.
She is doing it. I was very glad that the Drew and Candace duet was received the way it was, because I was like, wait a minute. Is this? And thank God the rest of them were like, oh, well, hold on now. What the fuck?
Right.
Candy's like, I would not have invited people to this. This is not a thing. And also, like, I think what was supposed to happen was Drew was supposed to do a whole lot more. Drew was supposed to be doing like a lot more of the like chords and stuff like that.
I'm wondering, do you think, I'm wondering, Shamari, I wonder if she was supposed to do more, but then like it was such short notice that like she was like, okay, let me just have Drew do some and then get off stage.
Okay, that's possible.
I'm wondering.
That is possible.
But if Candace called two people to just do those runs for 40 seconds, then okay, girl. Like, we could have done without this.
Yeah.
But they've dropped the whole song together now. I haven't listened, but they've dropped the whole song together. So we'll listen and report back next week. See what we think about it.
That's our homework.
There we go.
After the performance, there's literally like 5 seconds of the Drew Sonya beef, and then it's over. And I'm like, yes, thank God I have no energy for this.
No need to linger.
And
good.
In case you missed it last week, Kendrick reminded everyone that the reason Kandi is so eager to fight is because she's coming off of Queens of R&B where she was
Yes.
fighting. She's tired.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also been it's interesting because on Queens of R&B, there's a whole fight about who should get like top billing and who should be first because of who has the bigger turnout. So it's really funny. So in case you guys don't know, this is what happens. So it's SWV and Escape.
Yes.
And so it's SWV is the one who came up with the show idea. So they're like, obviously we would have first billing. It would be SWV Escape. But then Kandi is like, as a businesswoman, she's like, I'm sorry, but it should absolutely be Escape because we are still doing reality TV. We've got more followers. We bring a crowd.
It's on the backs of Kandi and Tiny because they've been like in the public eye this entire time.
Yes, they have not gone away. They still have a relevant audience that will bring people out. And so they get into there's a whole bunch of drama about who gets billed first. And so the irony that this comes up where the crowd Kandi would bring in is like ghetto. It's like, oh, she takes that real personal, I bet. Because like, it's like, ooh, of all the things to fucking say, it's, don't fucking say that. And so, but Kandi confronts Courtney by putting Sonya on the spot perfectly. She goes, apparently you had some things to say to Sonya.
Yes.
So she puts Courtney on the spot perfectly. And Sonya has to answer. She's like, yeah, well, yes, you did say that she brought a whole bunch of ghetto people came after you. And it's like, oh, that's right, Sonya, what you gonna do now?
Yep. Because it's perfect because not only is she putting her on the spot, she's making her prove that she's a loyal friend in front of her. It's perfect at the last week's episode.
Can't get out of it. Can't get out of it now. What you gonna do now?
Yep. What you gonna do? Or are you gonna pull that whole? Well, no, she didn't say it like that move, but like Sonya actually she said it, so I'm like, okay, yes. Sonya, okay,
you're okay.
All right.
But Courtney clarifies. She's like, I'm ghetto. I'm from the ghetto. I meant ghetto people came. I'm like, we got that. That's what we thought you meant.
You're right. Like what?
We're all pretty sure that's what we thought you meant.
Right. Like we're all still confused, by the way.
No one was like, that didn't clarify anything.
No.
Kenya, though, calls what Courtney did or is doing aggressive. It's very aggressive, though. I'm like, Kenya, stop. You've got to stop doing the things that's going to get you in trouble. Courtney's not worth our time. Don't anyone get up in arms about Kenya calling her aggressive, please, because Courtney sucks.
Right.
Kenya's doing it right this season. I don't want Courtney Courtney doesn't get any support, people. Okay.
Yes.
Courtney came on the show thirsty as hell, trying to pick a fight, and she's getting unfortunately, Kandi's giving her exactly what she wanted.
Right.
And that's what sucks, is that Kandi's giving it to her, because the best thing to do would be giving her nothing.
Exactly.
To give her zero.
Had it been any other season, Kandi wouldn't have given her this either. But the timing of it, Kandi's like, anybody that wants the smoke can get the smoke this year. Yep.
That's exactly.
It's the timing. It worked out well for Courtney.
It worked out well for Courtney.
Yeah. She's trying to get a spot on the show. So there you go.
Damn.
You got it.
Kandi's pulling if whoever's event it was should be grateful that the people showed up. It's like, listen, to some extent, yes, but it is true that a bunch of assholes showing up to an event is not great. That, like, as someone who has worked many events, it's true. Like, when you just get a bunch of cheap jerks that are like, I didn't pay for that, I'm not paying for that. It's like, never mind, I'd rather you guys didn't show up.
Yeah.
But Courtney keeps going, Kandi, you're really triggered. You're triggered. I'm like, you need to shut your mouth right now, okay? And so Kandi gets real loud. And she's like, how about I bring everybody out? Not I bring the hood out when you are the ghetto. Yes, ghetto.
Love it.
But then they like settle down and it's just like over. This is so Atlanta. Then they just like settle down and Sonya plays producer and she's like, Monietta, you mentioned something about Marlo upsetting you.
Love that.
I'm like, okay. I will say, I don't really get why, other than just trying to show Kandi that she has her back, I don't really get why Monietta's mad at Marlo. Do you?
It feels it's a little bit of a reach, but I understand the reach. I think she's mad because she thought that like her and Marlo were like actually forming a friendship, but then like the whole time Marlo behind her back is being like, oh, Monyetta's kind of a puppet. That's Kandi's puppet. Look, she allowed her to come outside.
Okay.
Like this kind of stuff. So she's like, well, I thought we were cool, but here you go, obviously, like you always do, talking crap behind my back, and I didn't know anything about it.
Because I was confused. Because I was, I was, you know what? That's why I was confused. I thought for sure Moneta wouldn't want to even like, because Kandi, right off the top, when you first see Moneta this season, she's like, she didn't have my back last year.
Yeah.
And let it be known that she was pissed about how Moneta went and talked to Marlo. So I guess I was surprised that Moneta would even want to say, but I guess she didn't. Sonya made her say it.
Right.
But I was just surprised that she'd even care, but whatever. Anyway, the more important thing is that Marlo goes, so is that all you had to say to me, beautiful? Okay.
Dismissive.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. But then Drew says, Kandi, what's going on at Blaze? And Marlo, what happened at Blaze? Oh, the shooting? And this really sparks a lot.
Yep.
And Kandi says it's a private matter. Marlo obviously gets mad. They all leave. And then you get the thing 30 minutes after they wrapped. And Drew is defending why she didn't say shooting. Drew has no idea about the history that Marlo has with this. So it's like, why are you mad at her?
Right.
This is so unfair. And like the fact that you're doubling down on Watch What Happens Live, it's like, no. You should not have taken it out on Drew. She was not there the first time around. So she's simply respecting the fact that I wouldn't say what happened at the shooting.
Right.
I wouldn't say that either. It's like if I wanted to bring it up, I would present it like that. And if she took it and ran with it, then I would take her lead. I would still want to ask about it on camera because that's fair. But Drew didn't do anything wrong. Marlo, go ahead.
Let me tell you why this grosses me out some. Because I feel like, to me, it feels like Marlo is using both Drew and her nephew's passing because her bigger issue is that she feels like Kandi doesn't say certain things on camera. And it's like, this is a gross route to get to that. Like, just say that, like, leave the nephew and the, like, all of that out of it. But I want to talk about, like, that text message exchange that Marlo shows, because that does seem like, to me, like, insensitive. Like, it doesn't seem like not a big reaction. And then I was like, well, you know, texts are ambiguous. Like, there's got to be more to that maybe. But then when they show like the on-camera interaction between them when they're talking about it, like they pulled out like unaired footage from, I don't know if it was last year or the year before or whatever, but they were talking about it and Kandi was just kind of like, you know, oh, okay. You know, so
yes,
it feels like there's something underlying here that none of us know about.
Agreed.
Because Kandi's the most sensitive housewife we have. So like she's moved by stuff. So like her not coming across as being moved by this, it's got to be something else in play here. Agreed.
Because it's very, we've never heard about this nephew before. We've I mean, maybe it's been edited out, but she's never brought this issue up before. She's never said anything about being heartbroken over this happening prior, and now it's an issue. It was so absurd how Kandi was responding in that unaired footage.
Yeah.
That it had to be something Kandi did not want to say on camera because it didn't make sense.
Right.
If it's someone who worked for Kandi that, according to Marlo, Kandi knew, Kandi worked with, Kandi had in the kitchen, I don't see her just not caring.
Right. It's something we're missing as the audience. It's got to be.
So it just... like you said, it just feels like you're trying to prove that Kandi doesn't talk about her stuff on camera. But I also don't know if I believe that.
I don't agree with that. At all. I feel like if there's anybody that puts it all out there, like across franchises, it's Kandi.
And also, Marlo, don't you still not tell us how you make your money?
Hello? Because it ain't all the archive. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. Marlo has a weird thing with Kandi. I don't know what it is. Okay. This is a wild theory to have, but I have a theory about why they have this underlying issue. I think it's because of that failed reality show that where Kandi tried her hardest to, like, you know, Marlo was, for those that don't know the backstory, Marlo was upset because she was never going to get a peach. Like, that's the way it was coming across. She was never going to get a peach. She's going to be used as, like, the permanent friend of, to, like, come in, say salacious things, get it started, and then, like, whatever. At some point, you know, Kandi and Todd, they do the TV production, the stage production and stuff. They were like, okay, we want to do this reality show that we're going to pitch to another network. Let's invite Marlo to be on it, and some other people that, like, we know, like Funky Dineva, and some other people that, like, you know, are names, you know, that people would recognize and would tune in for this show for. They said that Marlo, not just them, Funky Dineva too, said that Marlo was so difficult that Kandi and Todd said, you know what? Fuck this show. We're not doing it anymore. Like, we have no interest anymore. We're getting out of it. So then Marlo had to go back to trying to be a housewife full time. And so I think that she still has resentment about that they were just like, that she can't own that she was so difficult to work with. She just sees it as like, they yanked me around with this whole thing, talking about they wanted to, you know, do this and that for me. And it came up a little bit at the reunion last year, if you remember.
Yes, it did. Oh, it did.
Yeah, she brought it. So I think it has something to do with that.
You know what?
I think it's underlying.
As soon as you said that she doesn't want to admit she was difficult, I feel like you're really nailing it. Because Marlo doesn't want to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
And she would be mad that Kandi has that knowledge and that information.
Mm-hmm.
And so that does track.
Yep.
And that she's trying to, how come my shit has to be out there, but Candy's isn't? It's like, because Kandi, first of all, Kandi doesn't even drink. So it's not like Kandi can be all that scandalous.
Right.
There's no lawsuits against Kandi that we don't know of. People find that out. It's all public knowledge. So some Bravo detective would have found it by now.
And everybody that comes across her loves her. Like, no one has a bad thing to say about Kandi except, like, Nene.
Yeah.
But, like, that's it. No one else has anything bad to say about Kandi. They love her as a business person. They love her as, like, an on-air personality. Like, they love Kandi. Everyone says that, like, Bravo loves them some Kandi beers. That's why she's had, like, 57 spinoffs. She's now, the longest running housewife in history. So, like, it's hers. Like, Bravo loves her. No one has anything bad to say. And I think Marlo hates that.
And, you know, Marlo is like her own worst enemy. So she probably, like, it's like it drives her nuts that, because, okay, so early in my restaurant career, I would get so mad and I would lose it because it just would get so frustrating, and I'd be on the floor and I would get mad at somebody and I would hate myself afterwards. And so I started to adjust. Like, I would adjust my personality, like, to not do that because it's not good.
Right.
But I remember being really resentful of this one other manager I worked with who was always level-headed. She was always super even-keeled. And I was like, I remember being pissed about it. Like, I remember being like, oh, that fucking bitch is always so and it's like, it's kind of like Marlo resents that Kandi has just never made all these mistakes that Marlo has made.
And you know what? Let's even take it a step further. It may be that she feels like, because Kandi isn't, like, the one that, like, in your example, like, is losing her shit, it feels like Kandi is the one that never gets the bad edit when Marlo has like, to quote unquote do the heavy lifting. And so she's the one that always gets attacked by the fans, or she's the one getting judged for this and that, while Kandi is just, like, in her mind, smooth sailing her way through this show and being the highest paid on the show. Wow. So she's probably like, okay, all of this shit is, like, not adding up. I hate this. And yeah.
So
maybe we solved it.
Yeah. I guess it's maybe it's obvious to some people, but that's our opinion, and we think we're geniuses for it. You're welcome.
Bloop. Bloopity bloop.
You're welcome. Because the way she screams, like, it's like she's not getting the reaction she wants from Drew. So then she
Right.
just starts going, my blood nephew is dead. And that's where I was like, ew, this is gross. I feel like you're
Yeah.
truly just using like a scary thing to say, like, no one wants to touch that, you know, like my nephew's
Right.
dead. Like, and Drew's like, I'm actually not getting why you're even saying this.
Right. It's
Like,
just
what
not
does that have to do with this?
nothing. It just all came across weird. I think another level of it too is that, plain and simple, I think, Kandi and Nene don't get along. Marlo has been up Nene's ass for so many years, so Marlo doesn't get along with Kandi either. Simple as that.
Okay.
So I think it's multi-layered. I think that Marlo really has no incentive to necessarily be on the same team as Kandi. And I think it's a lot at play.
Well, then. Well, that was a wonderful recap. That was fun.
I know. I love that we were like, oh, we don't have that many notes for this episode, and it's still like 2 hours into.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, that wraps us up for this week. We will see you next week. Don't forget to follow Kendrick at Reality and Comics 2, TOO, not the number 2. And also check out his podcast everywhere you get your podcasts, Reality and Comics 2 with Kendrick Tucker. And of course, subscribe if you're not already. Give me a 5-star, whatever. The outro will tell you what else to do. All right, guys. Love you. Mean it. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $ and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.